Oh, I forgot to change where my, what game I'm recording. There we go. Um, welcome to Terraria. Welcome. I forgot to put my brace on. I would rather not break my thumb. Let me do that real quick. I believe the stats for the Lucerne are 1512-ish. Which means this is going to be a quality build. My controller is not working. Hello? Please? Why now? Why isn't this working? I thought I got it working before the stream, but I guess not. Come on. Oh my goodness. What a great time for this to happen. Is it Steam input being stupid? That wouldn't surprise me. It is Steam input being stupid. Steam input got disabled. Okay, 1512. I don't know, I guess Bandit would be closest. Probably. And then I believe the weapon is just in the Catacombs, so I don't need anything specific to get to it. And other than that, should be relatively normal, I think. I do want to get the Leo ring, obviously, as stated in the title and thumbnail and everything. Which means I'm going to have to fight Super Ornstein, which I'm not super looking forward to. But supposedly, the Lucerne with the Leo ring is extremely powerful. So we'll see how that goes. And, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so if I remember correctly, it's right past the second Necromancer. Which again should be pretty easy to get to. And then I don't know if I'm gonna, well, actually no, I do. I'm gonna use Depth Clip to get the Ember and everything as soon as possible, so I don't have to worry about doing all that. I'll try not to dupe, but I can't promise that I won't use any other glitches. This game without glitches is less fun, I think. Completely unrelated to anything Dark Souls, but I've been playing a lot of, well, okay, I say a lot of, I've been playing Sonic 06 recently, and that game is extremely unfairly maligned. I've been having a ton of fun with it, despite the jank. And I was thinking, if, like, I want to play more of the game, and I will eventually, probably soon, to be honest, make a review on it for my second channel. But I think it would be funny to try and do challenge runs for games that aren't Dark Souls, but are like not even adjacent to Dark Souls, because like Zelda is still an RPG where you have like a main weapon. So I don't think Swordless would really fit into that bracket. But then, I don't know, Sonic game challenge runs. Some sort of diversification. Because YouTube doesn't seem to like my Dark Souls content recently. What the? That's not what I was expecting to happen at all. Anyway, I was thinking what I could do for Sonic 06, but everything would just be like clipping through walls constantly, because that's, you could just do that in that game. I should probably pay attention to the video game. Is grabbing the shield worth it? Whoa, hi. Probably. So Since I'm going through the catacombs, actually. Might as well. It's not like that's going too far out of my way. That way, skeletons rolling won't kill me. Is that mid-roll? It is. I saw someone say that Hornet Ring was also good with the Lucerne, but I assume they were doing PvP. Because I can't imagine a scenario otherwise where the Hornet Ring would be that influential. I should level up my dexterity, actually. One more level shouldn't be difficult to get. And then should have the stats for the Lucerne if I remember what the stats are correctly. I just need to pray that I'm able to get it first try. I shouldn't rest at the first bonfire. I don't know, should I? Is it worth keeping those souls? Probably not. It's fine. I'll just pray that I get it first try. The only thing to really be worried about is skeletons jumping at me. And, well, even then, I think what just happened on screen kind of proves why that's not much of an issue. That was really good timing. There we go. No lantern, unfortunate. Okay. Yeah, the rolling is annoying, but not if you have a shield. Actually, without a shield, trying to dodge the rolling is probably honestly harder than trying to dodge the bone wheels. I've had more issues in the past with the rolling skeletons like that than the bone wheels. Because bone wheels at least have a very predictable movement pattern. The skeletons, the rolling skeletons are a lot more varied in their movement. This isn't good. Excuse me. Okay, everything's fine. Okay, the Lucerne is somewhere near here. Oh, hello. Pardon me. I just don't remember exactly where. I'm pretty sure it's somewhere in this cave. Maybe it's up here. Hey, there it is. I'm gonna attempt to run out of the catacombs. If I could even remember where I'm at. Oh, okay, I'm here. I don't think I've ever ran through there backwards. That's not true. I've done it twice, ever. Going into the Tomb of the Giants super early, for whatever reason. Like I did a run with the Crescent Axe where I did that. I should do a stream with the Crescent Axe. I think that's a really fun weapon. It's like pretty simple, but its simplicity combined with its scaling makes it pretty versatile. And getting it is really fun too, because again, you have to come down to the Tomb of the Giants super early. Because Patches sells out once he gets back up to Firelink. You can also kill Nico for it. Oops. Well, that's fine. But then I'd have to kill the Capra Demon. Actually, no, he doesn't drop it, does he? Never mind. Yeah, so you have to buy it from Patches. So you have to go down into the Catacombs super early, which I think is fun. Lucerne. Yeah, I tend to avoid going into Ash Lake. Without the Lord Vessel. I don't know, it's not that bad as long as you don't rest. Because getting through Ash Lake in one direction isn't that bad. It's climbing the Great Hollow, I think. That's the issue. This isn't a soul, that's fire bombs. I'm just gonna dupe the souls. I said wasn't gonna dupe, but that was a lie. Hey, first try. Yeah, that would make it a little bit harder. Um, when was the last time? Last time I went down into Ash Lake without the Lord Vessel. I'm pretty sure I rested at Firelink and didn't rest at all the way down, and somehow I made it down first try, which was very fortunate. I don't know. And I think once you learn the route down Ash Lake or down to Ash Lake in the first place, it becomes significantly easier. But if you don't already know the path, it's kind of annoying. And like, especially if you don't reset for the Black Hydra after the jump, it gets really frustrating to have to avoid the constant water shots. How often do I play Dark Souls 3? I mean, that kind of depends what you mean by that. Because I have almost 300 hours in the game, but I don't play it super often. Like, there have been a couple times where I've pretty heavily hyperfixated on it and would just play it for, you know, days at a time. But otherwise, I don't tend to play it super often. There are, like, challenge runs and stuff that I want to do in Dark Souls 3, so I'll be playing it significantly more once I start doing that. But as of right now, this exact second, I don't play it super often. I kind of want to do... once I finish my Dark Souls 2 pickaxe run, I kind of want to do a Dark Souls 3 pickaxe run. I think that'd be fun. Dark Souls 1, I beat it every week. At least once a week. Sometimes, well, okay. I think it averages out to once a week because sometimes I don't play it at all if I'm like, you know, on vacation or whatever. But I stream it once a week, and then a lot of times I'll play it for like a challenge run or whatever. So I'll beat it twice in a week or 3 times in a week. So I think it averages out to about once a week and has been that for the last like year. Actually, when did I upload the nothing video? Was that in January of last year? So it has been about a year. Well, actually, there was a bit of time. There were like a month or two where I didn't play it that often because I was waiting, or because I was not in a place where I could record very easily. Once I started streaming, it's been once a week, about once a week. So like, I don't know, a few months. 650 physical damage? What weapon were you using? I can't think of any weapons that get like good physical damage from intelligence scaling. The only time I've ever used the Lucerne was in a mod that completely changed all of the oh my goodness, all of the like parameters for this game. And the Lucerne had insane an insane crit modifier. That's the only time I've ever used the Lucerne. Moonlight Greatsword? Doesn't Moonlight Greatsword do pure magic damage? Do you mean 650 AR? There we go. I think that's still... yeah, okay. I don't actually know the moveset of the Lucerne at all. Spin. I suddenly like the Lucerne a lot more. Okay, I think that's a stumble. I assume that's a stumble because that's pretty long for a recovery. Titanite lizard. I mean, crystal lizard. I mean, not all halberds. Same as like gargoyle halberd, it seems like. Actually, does the gargoyle halberd have a spin? I don't remember. Because the halberd has thrusting attacks on the on like the R1. It has thrusting attacks, which is really annoying. I hate the normal halberd. But then like the gargoyle halberd has, and the scythe, and the, what's the other one? The Black Knight halberd. That's one of my favorite movesets in the game, and this is definitely slightly different from that at least. It's similar, but I think it is different. Oh my god. My life flashed before my eyes. I don't know why I'm doing two-handed parries. That's very unnecessary. Yeah. This is probably just gonna end up being faster. I don't think that'll save me if I do get hit, but just in case. I don't know, maybe I should two-hand. I don't know if that would be faster or not, because it just takes a little bit longer to parry every time. I did know that that happens, and then Havel tries to do that sometimes. Like this guy, he can actually use that ability, but then he just kind of stands there for a second, and sometimes it just doesn't work. Like he'll stand there, he'll do the whole animation, and then nothing will happen. Free backstab opportunity though when it does happen. So it buffs your poise, right? It's like the Iron Skin Pyromancy or whatever that's called. It sure is the NPC fight of all time. I almost messed that up. There we go. You can't run? Yeah. Just like the pyromancy, right? I actually don't remember what the pyromancy is called. I don't use like status effect pyromancies very often. I don't play pyromancer very often, actually, either. It's been a while. I should grab the chunk from the other Black Knight as well while I'm here. Hey, chunk. Nice. And then can grab the, I can get the, what am I thinking? The large ember. Jesus. I'll get the large ember after fighting the gargoyles, I guess. I only want to use a +5 on the gargoyles because I think that just kind of makes sense. Also, this is pretty good damage. This is +0 still, and I'm only at requirements, I think. Yeah. Cool. I think I'm going to go 2740, right? That's the, yeah, 2740 is probably the best way to go for this. I've never used the Leo ring in a stream, at least. I've used it, like, casually, but I've never, like, specifically ran a build around it or anything. Hello, Nick. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, the knight kind of got obliterated. But it's okay. Have a good night. I hope you enjoyed the time you were here for this stream. All right. I'm excited to use this on the gargoyles. I don't know. I've been excited to use this weapon for a while. I kind of cheated when I put it in the YouTube poll because I put a poll in my Discord to see like what weapons I would put in the YouTube poll because the YouTube poll gets a lot more votes most of the time. In fact, I think every time I've had a YouTube poll, it's gotten more votes than the Discord poll. So I was going to take the top 4 weapons because you can only have 4 weapons on a poll on YouTube. And I think it's like 10 on Discord or, 4 items. And on Discord, geez, the Lucerne was tied for 5th because there were like 3 2 or 3 tied for like second or third or whatever. And the Lucerne was tied for 5th, but I cheated and put the Lucerne on there anyway because I was excited to use the Lucerne. It's quality scaling. Yeah, the moveset is slightly different from like Scythe, Gargoyle's Halberd, whatever. Because like instead of having the overhead downward swing, it has like a diagonal swing, which I think is interesting. I want your souls. Give me your souls. Damn. Oops. Okay, maybe not. Hubris. No. Did I rest? I really hope I rested in the valley. Okay, good. Jesus. I would have cried. Can't believe I just died to a Titanite demon. This is tragic. It's like I've never played this game before. 1,000 hours in Dark Souls. It doesn't look like it. I don't know. I don't feel quite on top of my game today, but hopefully that'll change as I get more back into the groove of playing this again, but we'll see. I've been playing Dark Souls 2, specifically with a pickaxe too, so probably kind of out of my groove on Dark Souls 1 specifically. No, I'm not even feeling under the weather. I feel fine, and I had caffeine and everything this morning. I don't know. Maybe I'm a little bit sleep deprived, actually. That wouldn't surprise me. I slept fine last night, but I don't think I slept enough. I think I only got like 6 hours, and I'm used to 8, so I don't know. I'll be fine. Probably. I'll still probably be able to hit Lys Manus. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I fought enough Titanite demons at this point that they shouldn't really be an issue. Because I've had several runs where I've used boss weapons and I've had to fight a bunch of them. Usually I end up just killing this one and then... Well, actually, not even usually. Sometimes I'll just kill this one and then dupe the Titanite skills, but usually I'll at least fight the 2 in Sen's Fortress and then the one in the small room in Inner Londo, which is arguably the most annoying one, too. I don't know. I should be good at fighting the Titanite demons by now, is my point. I'm just gonna buy 9. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna buy 8 and go get the other one. Think about Demon Souls? I love Demon Souls. I think it's really fun. I think people don't... I think people dislike the gimmick bosses too much. Because I really like most of the gimmicks in Demon Souls. Let me think. Because, like, Flame Lurker is probably one of my least favorite bosses in Demon Souls, and that's probably the least gimmicky boss. I'm gonna ring the bells. I don't like skipping a ton of the game during streams. Usually I won't fight, like, objectively optional bosses, like Priscilla. Like, bosses that I need to go out of my way for, I usually won't fight in streams. But I'll fight everything up to Manus, except for Calamite. Like, I don't even usually skip Centipede. There we go. Does this have a crit modifier? It doesn't. Weird. Hey, Greatsword. Yeah, the strong attack is a spin. What's wrong with the runbacks? I don't know. I like the Demon Souls runbacks. I really like that the levels are just a part of the boss. I like how they're one thing. Oh, my controller disconnected. Instead of being completely separate like they are in Elden Ring or Sekiro. Yeah, that's why I started the pickaxe run in Dark Souls 2, actually. I forgot it existed, and then I was reminded, and then I decided that I want to do the Can You Beat Dark Souls 2 as Steve from Minecraft? That video was really fun to do for Dark Souls 1, and I know I streamed it, but I haven't really... I don't think I would be good at streaming Dark Souls 2 because I don't know Dark Souls 2 very well, and it would take multiple streams to beat the game. So I'm just going to record the videos and do it that way. Thank you for being here while you could. I hope you, or I wish you luck with whatever it is you're doing. No, I don't know. Demon Souls is like, I hesitate to say it's the easiest because I have had times where I've struggled a lot with some of the bosses. Um, like, Flame Lurker killed me a lot in my first couple playthroughs. But overall, I would say it's probably the easiest. My next video on my second channel, I don't know, I have a couple recorded that I just need to edit, but I also don't want to edit them because it's really tedious. But those ones also aren't essays, they're just like commentated gameplay videos. I think I've recorded 2 or 3 playthroughs for that. But my next scripted video is probably either going to be Sonic R or Sonic 06. Sonic R would probably be a pretty short one, but it's also really hard to write because it's a racing game and I don't know how to review a racing game. And I've been really enjoying and kind of hyperfixating on Sonic 06. Also, this is really fast, wow. So I don't know, I'll probably end up doing Sonic 06 first just because I'm hyperfixating on it right now. Wow, very difficult boss. I'm shocked that none of those attacks hit me. I mean, I can 100% Sonic R in like 30 minutes. I know the game very, very well. Like I have the entirety of my footage for Sonic R right now is me 100%ing the game as Sonic and then going through a couple levels as different characters to like show off what makes each character unique. So it's not like I don't know how to play Sonic R, and it's not like I need to learn the game or whatever. I just don't know how to talk about it. I have very different opinions on Dark Souls 2 from you. I love the level design of Dark Souls 2. I think it has some of the most interesting level design of the series, as well as some of the most satisfying to get through and to play, and like some of just the most fun regular enemy layout. I wish the spin came out faster so I could use it more. Yeah, I don't know. Dark Souls 2, of course, does really, really well with teaching you how to play the game and how to approach levels. If you just listen to the game and counter what it's trying to throw at you, instead of trying to play it like Dark Souls 1 or 2. I don't know, I think it works really, really well. Yeah, the Hyde's Tower of Flame is probably my favorite looking area in any Souls game. I think. There's some really good ones, but actually I really like Iron Keep as well. Iron Keep is one of my favorite looking areas in any Souls game. Especially once you get toward the actual boss and like the area out there. The reindeer are trying to tell you to not do it if you're not having fun. Is that a sweet spot? No, that's just a running attack modifier. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, the reindeer are telling you to not do it if you're not having fun, and also to summon. That area is genuinely not that bad if you just summon. Like, it still isn't fun. It's not, like, particularly engaging or whatever, and I'm not going to defend the Frigid Outskirts, but I'm also going to say that it's not as terrible if you just summon for it, and it makes the area a lot more fun, in my opinion. I should climb the ladder to make this significantly more safe, but I'm no coward. I'm probably gonna die again because of that. Ooh, a broken stray sword. Thank you. I've always wanted one of these. I don't like that the jumping attack is like a sweep. Oh my goodness. Instead of like an overhead thing. But that's just because of what I'm used to. Oh, fighting the Drake. Yeah, don't recommend that. I don't remember what I did my first playthrough. I think I got hit by the fire and then ran down the stairs. And then just noticed the way under the bridge. So I think I got lucky with that. Okay, I'm gonna go get the Ember. Yeah, a lot of the Dark Souls 2 DLC is very, very summon heavy. Like, God, the run to King Alon, or to, yeah, not Alon, that's Demon Souls. What's his name? Alone. King, Sir Alone. Alon? Sir Alon. Um, Jesus. The run to him without summons is torturous. Genuinely, my least favorite run in the entire game. Hello, Styro. Welcome. Hey, Zephyr. Welcome. My favorite Warframe. Yeah, sorry, leave me alone. Jesus. A lot of people don't talk about that, but I think it's genuinely worse than Reindeer Land. I want strength. 20 strength. I hate his boss fight. I think Sir Alon is the most overrated boss in the entire series. I just don't like that fight. I don't know what it is. Like, it's fine. It's a fine boss fight. But compared to everything else in Dark Souls 2, it's just so boring. I don't know. I think it's the same thing for, like, Artorias for me. A lot of people really, really like Artorias, but I think it's just kind of okay. Blue Smelter, I don't think that was that bad of a fight. Or, not fight, sorry. The fight was really fun, actually. But the run, I don't think it was that bad. The couple times that I needed to do the run to actually end up winning, I ended up just sprinting the whole way, and it ended up working shockingly well. So, I don't know if I got lucky there, but... Least favorite fight in the Souls series? That's a really hard question. Seath is up there only because I love most of Dark Souls 1 and it's just like such a huge dip in quality. God, that's a really hard question. I did make a tier list, but I think my reasoning for the tier list was a little different. I was judging the fight's quality independently as opposed to like in comparison to all the other fights. If I had to give one off the top of my head though, I don't really know, if I'm being honest. I am working on Unremarkable and Odd Places in Dark Souls 2. I also did make a Demon Souls one, though that one didn't really get picked up by the algorithm for whatever reason. I really liked making the Demon Souls one. I really liked making the Dark Souls 1 one as well, but the Dark Souls 2 one I have a bit of a different idea for. And that might take me a while. I don't know if I'm going to go through with that idea at this point, because it's just going to take so long and be kind of tedious to do. But I will do at least a style of Unremarkable and Odd Places in Dark Souls 2 video. Eventually. I would argue that Artorias is a very, very, very Dark Souls 1 boss. Same with Manus. Manus and Artorias are like extremely Dark Souls 1, and everyone who compares them to Bloodborne or Dark Souls 3 bosses just kind of confuses me because I don't get that at all. I don't know. If we're counting Elden Ring, I would say my least favorite boss would probably be Malekith. I really don't like Malekith. But in the trilogy specifically, oops, I really don't know. Maybe I should go with something easy and say like Half-Light. Yeah, I don't know what was going on last Wednesday with my internet. That was really annoying. Oh my god. Jesus. It's just a dog. Oh, any Austin, you mean? I mean, it's not... he didn't say that was the only reason. He said it was part of the reason, and I agree. Like, I used that title because I knew people would be like, oh, hey, that's like the Annie Austin kind of video. I like those, so I'll watch this video. Like, it was absolutely part of it. And, like, he wasn't being rude about it. He was just kind of right. A lot of people thought he was being rude, but I don't know. I just kind of agreed with him and figured that if I were to do another video, that I would make it more similar if I were to use the same title, which I did end up doing with Demon Souls. I would say the Demon Souls video is more similar to what Annie Austin does. Least favorite boss is folding screen monkeys. That's fair. I don't know. Like, I think just as a gimmick, they're not that bad. I didn't not enjoy them. But I see where you're coming from. Dark Souls 2 level designs, or levels were very frustrating. Oh, until you figure them out, yeah. I mean, that's the thing, right? You gotta be really observant and figure them out as you go. I think that's kind of the modus operandi that you have to go into Dark Souls 2 with. The reasoning behind Malekith is just that he's really fast, in a way that I don't think is fun. And a lot of his attacks require very specific positioning to dodge. The one where he slams down and then makes the giant like AoE explosion of slashes. That attack is just annoying because you have to have a pretty specific positioning to dodge it, and it doesn't like communicate what that positioning is at all. You just kind of have to luck into it to find it. At least I did. I couldn't find it at all. I don't think it's very well telegraphed or anything. And then also the fact that he just flies around constantly and you just have to wait for your turn to attack is so unfun. I don't know. Like, I get why people like it. It's just not my flavor. My favorite flavor of boss fight. Dog with the water on him. Dragon God? I get that. I don't know. I think that's another instance where it's just like, it's kind of fun. It breaks the pace of the game in a way that keeps it refreshing, especially after the Flame Lurker. Like, it's immediately after the Flame Lurker. So I feel like if they went for a more standard boss fight, it wouldn't have been as cool. I don't know. I'm just kind of glad they didn't go with what they did with Ceaseless and Old Iron King. As much as I do genuinely enjoy Old Iron King, or not Old Iron King. Is it Old Iron King? I don't know. As much as I do genuinely enjoy that fight, I'm glad that's not what they did with the Dragon God. I'm glad the Dragon God was a little bit more unique, and you have to use, like, tools left there by other people to actually take out this, you know, god. But I understand why you don't like it. It is 3 p.m. for me. That's why I always stream at night. It is a pretty spectacle fight, that's true. I don't really consider it that, though. Because, like, it's more of a stealth thing, right? It's very gimmicky, and it is. Like, it is just kind of spectacle. But in my mind, I don't really see it as spectacle, you know? Gonna kill Mama. That's funny. I don't think I've ever heard anyone call Quelaag Mama. Especially when her sister is the actual mom. You know, the fair lady isn't my type. But if she was, would that make her a MILF? Is that how that works? I think so, right? Because, like, she doesn't have the MILF body type or whatever. But technically. That's what I love about Demon Souls. It really keeps the game fresh. Because, like, I don't know. A lot of the levels are pretty gimmicky, too. Oh, God. I shouldn't have been there. I wanted to see if I could hit Quelaag, but the answer was no. Damage isn't terrible, though. Especially if I get counter damage. Yeah, I don't know. I like a lot of the gimmicks. Especially when the gimmicks feel like they just are how the boss is. Old Hero comes to mind, or whatever it's called. The blind one. And then, like, even the spider, the armored spider, is just kind of like how that boss would be fought. So it doesn't really feel like a gimmick to me for a lot of them. And I think that's a really good way to do it. And then King Allant being just like a straight up duel is also really cool. The Penetrator being pretty normal unless you helped Oscar. Oscar? Not Oscar. What's his name? I don't know. Guy with the rune sword and shield. I don't know. I like a lot of the gimmicks is the thing. Fool's Idol is also really cool. The fact that you don't actually fight Maiden Astraya, I really like. I don't know. I get it, but I like it. Yeah, PS3 emulation works pretty well. It's also a lot easier than Xbox 360 emulation, which really sucks. Because Xbox 360, like a lot of the games that were out on both consoles, the 360 version was just better. Like I've been having that problem with Sonic Unleashed, where I want to play the better version of the game, but 360 emulation is just not there yet. Like I have the most recent version of Xenia, and I have all the performance patches and stuff that I can find for it, and it just does not run well. And I really want to play Unleashed again, just because, I don't know, I didn't like the game the first time I played it, but after playing other Sonic games, I want to try and get back into it, and I just haven't been able to. But Demon's Souls is super easy to emulate too. It's pretty lightweight, which is really nice. I have a 360. Like it's sitting under my desk right now. And I would buy Sonic Unleashed. Actually, I think I did buy Sonic Unleashed on the marketplace, but now it's shut down, so I can't even do that. So I don't know. So I need to find a physical copy, which is just kind of ugh. But then, like even then, the console still lags. So I'd want to get either an Xbox One or an Xbox Series, which I don't have the money for. So if you want to campaign for something, then do that. You can jailbreak an Xbox 360, but it requires soldering. I would need to solder a NAND flasher and then do all that, which I do not have the skills nor the equipment for. I could send it in to someone, actually. I don't know. If you really want to crowdfund something, though, I think an Xbox One would be better. Can you jailbreak an Xbox One yet? If so, that would be my preferred way of doing that. Yeah, Demon Souls, while it is kind of a hack and slash, it's also coming off of, like Kingsfield, which absolutely makes sense that it's not really full hack and slash kind of thing. I mean, I've soldered before. I'm just really bad at it. I don't have a Ko-Fi or coffee or however you pronounce that. I do have super chats, but I have no idea how much an Xbox One even is. Maybe I should download Streamlabs OBS so I can have the goal thing. Ugh, ouchie. Yeah. I did some soldering in middle school for like the the talented and gifted thing because I was autistic, so obviously I was in the gifted kids class. And after school, we did stuff with soldering and whatever. A Throne account? I have no idea what that is. I don't know. I've kind of tried to stay away from other websites that are just like donation focused. Like I could link my PayPal, but that's kind of it. Um, just because like YouTube has the memberships and the super chats and the super thanks and everything. It feels kind of superfluous to try and set up something like a coffee. A wish list service? Oh, I see. That makes sense. I have two PS4s. I could sell my PS4s. Okay. So the reason I have two PS4s is I wanted to play Bloodborne, so I bought one because I wasn't going to deal with the, 100 ping or whatever that PlayStation Now has just to play Bloodborne. So I bought a PS4 for Bloodborne. And then the Elden Ring network test happened, which I did get into, and I played it and had a ton of fun with it. But I wanted to play it more before Elden Ring actually came out, so I bought a PS4 Pro and jailbroke that, so I could play Elden Ring more before the game actually came out. Um, so that's the story behind why I have two PS4s, and then I also have a PS5. So there's no reason for me to not sell my two PS4s. Anyway, um, Dexterity. I should get vitality. No, I shouldn't. I'm not a coward. Yeah. But I have a PS5, so I can just play Bloodborne on that. Luckily. I really want to do a Bloodborne playthrough like I did with Dark Souls 3. I think that'd be really fun. But I want to finish my Dark Souls 2 one first, which I haven't done yet because I need to play through both games back to that point, and I want to have like the same number of levels and I've gotten all the same stuff, which is just like really tedious to do and I don't want to deal with. Shelf hold, like as in to have it, like a collector's thing. Pardon me. I always go glass cannon. That's just how I play this game. And then it never ends up working out and I die a lot. Also, Ceaseless Discharge is little brother to Quelaag and the Fire Lady. So, but I guess he is pretty big, so I guess it depends on what big you meant. Yeah, one of them is a PS4, and then the other is like a launch edition. And then the other is a PS4 Pro. I don't know if it's a launch edition. I don't know if there were like multiple versions of the PS4 originally. I don't know. But I'm sure the PS4 Pro would go for enough to get me an Xbox One pretty easily. Then I have to deal with setting up something to sell it. I do live in a very populous area though, so I don't think finding someone to buy it would be that difficult. I have enough cannon. I have a quality build. That counts as enough cannon. I don't know why I'm trying to fight you. I don't have the Lord Vessel. How could I place the Lord Vessel if I don't have the Lord Vessel? For like 150? I have no idea. I'd have to look it up. I don't know. Either way, I could easily sell both of them and have enough to get a PS4 Pro. Or rather, an Xbox One so I could play Unleash. Is 06 backwards compatible? I've been emulating 06 and it's been working, like, shockingly well. Owie. I was really hoping that wouldn't happen. Skill issue on my part, I think. Yeah, the problem with pawn shops, though, right, is that I would probably get a lot less than I would selling it directly. I don't know. I could find a pawn shop and get a quote, because if I could give the PS4 Pro and the PS4 both for like $250 or something, I would happily take that. Prawn shop. That one guy in Lucerne. I do have the Lord Vessel? Damn. I didn't realize that. I'm sorry. Soft spots for Ceaseless. Yeah, he does have a pretty rough life. That's true. Constant lava boils. Like, ouchie. Ceaselessly discharging lava. Also, +5. 407 on a two-handed riposte is not bad. I don't know. I think this thing's damage is going to end up being fine for the whole game. Normally, I'll try to, like if I don't think a weapon will perform well, I'll try to get some sort of damage buff. Usually Sunlight Blade or whatever, but that's just not going to be necessary with a quality build. Favorite weapon class? That's a hard question to answer. If I'm being honest, probably halberds, because the scythe and gargoyle halberd are two of my favorite weapons in this game. And And polearms are just cool. I really like the crescent axe as well, which is in the halberd class. So I don't think the Four Kings will be that bad. I don't need anything from you. That's probably not true. I probably need a large shard from him. How many? I need 2? That's unfortunate. In general, then pole axes for sure. I love pole axes. I think they're super cool. Yeah, the pickaxe is really fun. I think piercing damage on non-piercing weapons is funny. If I remember correctly, the pickaxe actually has the highest AR for a pierce damage weapon. I have tried to play Kingsfield and Eternal Ring, and it never works for me. I don't know. I played Lunaset and was like, oh, I should check out Kingsfield. And then it's just so much more antiquated, which usually isn't that much of a problem for me. But I don't know. I have a hard time getting into Kingsfield. It's very difficult to play just because of how antiquated it is. I don't know. Okay. 2 of those. Try and make something of yourself. How many chunks do I need? I might grab the one from the Black Knight and the... Yeah, if I get the 2 giants and then the one from the Black Knight, that'll be enough to get me to plus 15 before I know Londo. Pokemon Ranger. Guardian Signs? I started playing Pokemon Ranger, like the original on the DS. Because I wanted the Manaphy egg. But I never actually ended up playing very far. I've not played that one, though. The Doomer Merchant. I've never even considered him a Doomer. That's really funny. Yeah, well, you know, the novelty of floating really loses its luster after a while. I don't know if the strong attack is worth it. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah, that's totally worth it. That's a lot of damage. The name Solar Pellets. Actually, it has been answered before, but there was a facet of the answer that I didn't know until recently. So I was in a Discord server for a streamer. I don't know if he still streams. He used to stream Pokemon and like Mario stuff. Like he would speedrun Mario Sunshine and play Mario 64 or whatever. Anyway, his name was Equinox, and I was in his Discord server, and somebody, I do not remember the context. I don't know if there was any context, to be honest. They said lemons are just solar pellets. And I was like, that's an awesome name. Because I had been trying to find a different name, because at the time, my online name was just my dead name's initials. So I started using solar pellets because of that. But it turns out this entire time, solar pellets, oh my goodness, has been a reference to Mega Man. I didn't know that because the Mega Man is solar powered, and his shots, his like bullets or whatever from his normal like arm cannon are called lemons, and they are made of solar energy. So saying lemons are solar pellets wasn't talking about the fruit, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure they were talking about Mega Man. And I don't even like Mega Man. So, I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be a Mega Man reference. I tried to like Mega Man. I've played them so many times, and I've tried to like them. If it was Mega Woman, it would be a completely different story. If I was playing as a roll instead of rock, very different story. I've been told that X4 and 0/ZX are good. So I do want to give them a try when I can. But I have not had the opportunity quite yet. I do have the Legacy Collection thing on Steam. Uh-oh, that's not good. I do have the Legacy Collection on Steam, so... Yeah, no, it had nothing to do with Solar. I've had the name Solar Pellets for years, like before I even started playing Dark Souls. Hello, Tulo, I think is how you pronounce that. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I tried to play Mega Man X a couple weeks ago, maybe last week, and I could not do it. um, a lot of the level design is a very, very like trial and error, which I just cannot get behind. And there, there was one point where I was attempting to like jump onto a platform, so I killed the enemy on the platform. Jumped, the platform went slightly off screen, and then by the time I landed on the platform, the enemy had spawned again, and I died because of that. I can't do it. I've tried so many times. Okay, attempt two for the giant. Oh, I have to go down into. What am I thinking? I don't need to get the Titanite chunk from the giant or from the other Black Knight. I can just go down into New Londo. I need to go down into New Londo for the Ember anyway, so that works. I don't know why I wasn't thinking that. Hey, perfect. I forget how far that goes sometimes. Oh god, I've been chased. What? Hold on. Giant, give me a second, please. We have a visitor. I usually do Sanctuary Guardian, Artorias, and Manus, but I don't usually do Calamite because Calamite takes so long to get to. Because you have to run all the way down and all the way back up and all the way back down, and I just don't like doing that. And then the streams usually end up being about 3 hours, which is perfect. But I do like doing up to Manus. Uninvited guest. In an age which they use swords. Oh. I have been chased. However, I can assure you that I have not been chased. Once we get to the Pasakas, that will make more sense, probably. Yeah, that's fair. Goth is pretty cool. I just don't like doing the run all the way down. Go to plus 10 and then go down to Londo and stuff. Andre. I love the way he says magnificent. That's one of my favorite voice lines in the game. Magnificent. I was gonna say I should fight the Stray Demon now, but I'd rather do that with a plus 14 since I don't have bleed. I should also level up a bit. Oh, only have one level. Drawn a thing? Squid women? What? Oh, the Pasakas. I'm pretty sure the game just calls him that. I don't know. It might have been a strategy guide or something. Shirking your duties? That's incredibly based. I'm very proud of you, Lamb. The Pasakas, you know, I'm not going to be the person to initiate the Pasaka talk, actually. Which is the worst weapon? In my opinion, oh, that's actually a really hard question to answer. In my experience, probably the Ghost Blade, because like, at least the Jagged Ghost Blade has. Hello, come on, game, please. Has bleed, so like the Jagged Ghost Blade isn't that bad. What the heck? Why does my controller keep disconnecting? Stop doing that. What? This cable sucks. I need to get a new cable for this. Please work. Oh my god. please. There we go. Anyway, the Ghost Blade can't be buffed. It has almost no scaling. I think it has the lowest possible scaling in strength. I think with 40 strength, it gave me an extra 12 AR or something. It's ludicrously terrible. And then it's just not good base damage. So I would argue that the Ghost Dagger, or Ghost Blade rather, is the worst weapon in the game. Like, I don't know. At least with the storage straight sword, you can make it somewhat viable with like hyper mode. You just can't do that with the Ghost Blade. The Ghost Blade is awful. The Drake Sword is pretty decent, honestly. Like, as long as you get the dragon scales, it's pretty decent when you level it up. I wouldn't say it gives false hope. You just need to find an annoying upgrade material. There are enough to get it to +5, like without any grinding or anything, so. That's a great question. They used to do that on desktop too, but then they changed the layout of the chat, which is like the first time I've ever seen any company change any layout for the better. And then they moved the comments to directly under the video, which spoils the video extremely often, and I hate it. But, you know. Fancy old English. Pardon me. That went shockingly well. I don't think there's a problem now. Might take me a second to translate your messages into modern English, but I think it's funny, so. Fun fact, like 2 people saw my stick-only video, so the fun fact didn't get spread as much as I would prefer it. I don't know why that video did so terribly. I don't know if it was just YouTube not picking it up or if people just not being interested in it. Anyway, the squirrel ring in the remastered mod lets you skip most of New Londo, which is really fun. I'm sorry. As enemies die in the distance. It's great. It's a really fun weapon. I was surprised at how viable it was. I don't know. I would not call this a speedrun. If I was speedrunning, I probably would have went straight to the ladder and prayed. Dead Island 2 keys? Why were you searching that on YouTube? I feel like that's a awesome opportunity to get scammed if you're trying to search that on YouTube. I'm sorry, Ingrid, but you are no longer needed. Oh, that kind of key. I see. I was thinking like as in Steam key. I don't think links are like immediately disallowed by YouTube. But I would recommend, well, I don't know. If it is, you could just join my Discord and link it there. That would also be a lot easier for me to check too. Just so I don't get sniped by a banshee, I'm gonna quit out. Like something random. Let me know if it's a rickroll. The whip is really fun and it's actually really good damage. I really like the whip. Did I try it with RTSR? I don't remember. I don't know. I did a playthrough with it in a video, and it was actually one of my favorite playthroughs I've done. I really like the whip. How do I quit so fast? 1,000 hours in the game and a lot of quitting out. The link was too long. If you're trying to link a YouTube video, if you press the share button, it'll give you a shortened version of the link. For whatever reason. I don't know why it's like that, but it's very useful. It's a turtle. Right, very large ember achieved. How many? Okay, I only need one chunk. That's good. It didn't show up. It might be in the live chat instead of top chat. If like you were able to send it, and it just like didn't show up on the chat that I have on stream, that might be why. Yeah, then it's probably on the live chat instead of the top chat. I can. If someone wants to check that real quick. I am terrible at fighting these guys for whatever reason. I don't know why. I probably should have backstab chained, but it's fine. That's gonna kill me. Okay. The whip isn't that slow. Okay, I brought up live chat on my phone and it doesn't show me the links, so I guess not. Unfortunate. Still though, the Discord is there if you want to share something. And the leash, the whip does really good damage too. Once you have 40 dexterity and level it up to plus 15, like the scaling gets really good. Early on in the game, like when you get it, it's pretty bad. But once you level it up, it's actually does pretty good damage. Yeah, but for future reference, if you have a turtle that you like really want to share to someone, you can always put it in the Discord. Like a different turtle, you know, like a cooler turtle. I can't believe I just died to a dark wraith. It's probably because I was distracted and trying to pull up live chat on my phone. Yeah, it starts with pretty bad scaling, but I think it gets up to B scaling in Dex, which makes it pretty usable. At plus 0, even with 40 dexterity, the damage is pretty eh. But at plus 15, it's really good. This should one shot. Cool. I think Siegmeyer, but specifically in the Siegjack. That was in my hey, a Titanite chunk. I didn't even need the one in the chest. That was in my Sense Fortress video thumbnail. If you haven't seen the Sense Fortress video and you're interested in like the way I critique level design, like I did with the Dark Souls 3 videos and the Dark Souls 2 video, I think that's one of my better videos in terms of like explanations. That time I got, wasn't it two slabs in a row at one time? I'm still baffled that happened at all. That's still the only time I've ever gotten a slab, I think. At least that was recorded. If I had gotten a slab from a Dark Wraith, I definitely would have just not killed a Stray Demon. Dream levels of luck. Didn't Dream have like a whole nother controversy recently? Okay. Oh. You know, somehow that doesn't surprise me at all. I feel like ableism is like the most commonly okay, quote unquote, bigotry. Because, like, and I don't mean to, like, drop this out of nowhere, but I think ableism is like one of the most common bigotries to see from people who you wouldn't think are necessarily bigoted. Um, just because it's weirdly normalized to think that things that autism specifically causes are like cringe or whatever. So there's so much weirdly ableist jokes, so many weirdly ableist jokes about just like autistic people being autistic. I don't know, it's weird. I've noticed that recently. Um, there was this whole thing on TikTok about like why poly people look like that, quote unquote. And that's because most of us are autistic. And I didn't see anybody talk about that. Like all of us are neurodivergent. So obviously we're going to have a different look from neurotypical people. I don't know. It's weird. I like orchestral music mostly. Well, I like folk music mostly, and then orchestral, and then like rock. I don't know, maybe not in that order. Folk rock and orchestral rock. That still happens today though. I don't know. There are still like weirdly ableist like cringe compilations and stuff. I don't know, I don't think it's that confusing. Then again, I did read the King James Bible for like 10 years of my life, unfortunately. Look like what? Autistic. Exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, I forgot to upgrade to plus 14. Oh well. It's just a straight demon, I guess. Yeah, exactly. Queer people are neurodivergent, so we just like have a different look. For like various reasons too. I don't know. I've probably seen, just because of how the internet is, I've probably seen more like transphobia than ableism. But at the same time, it's like the ableism is so much more understated and just like, yeah, this is an okay thing for me to say rather than just like being an asshole. So I don't know. I should be drinking water. I haven't drank any water all stream. I've tried to like the Beatles. They're just not my type of music. Um, I haven't heard too many of their songs though. It's just like the ones that I have heard, I didn't like a ton. My favorite's probably just like Eleanor Rigby or something. Well, there are people who will just like, I don't know. There is very obvious and like direct ableism that isn't a faux pas at all. Like if somebody is being a way and it's because they're autistic, then like yeah, that's considered, not super socially acceptable. But a lot of the time that autistic people are made fun of for being autistic, it's something that is because they are autistic, but isn't socially considered autistic. Um, like the actually voice, like that. A lot of the times people have that kind of accent. It's because they're autistic and have a harder time like learning to pronounce certain words. Yeah, I've heard Eleanor Rigby. I've heard Help, I think it's called. um, I don't know. I've heard a couple others, but those are the two that are like the only ones that I've really enjoyed at all. And even then, yeah, that just kind of happens when you're watching a YouTuber who is a trans woman who is very queer and also disabled. Way too good. Um, I don't know. They're just words. Probably. Okay. This is gonna sound. Jesus. Ugh, my throat does that so often, and I don't understand why. Um, this is gonna sound weird after coming off the conversation topic we just had, but I'm probably good at interpreting that because I'm autistic. Like I know there are neurotypical people who are good at that kind of thing too, but um, the words that I use are generally different from neurotypical people. Wow, instant. Okay, I'm not complaining. Um, I mean, I casually use words like modus operandi, so why is that doing 300 damage? Okay, the strong attack doesn't seem to be super worth it. Just because of the stamina. I'm sure there are instances where it'll be useful, though. My favorite word is superfluous. Okay, good luck. Again, I read the King James Bible, too, so... I remember trying to read the 1611, and, like, I could understand it, but it was just so clunky compared to modern English. Because I'm used to modern English, I guess is a better way to put it. A couple Shakespeare things that we had to do in school that I didn't super like because it was Old English, but mostly just because it's tedious to try and interpret. Yeah, if I had the choice to not be disabled, I wouldn't take it only because so much of my identity, who I am, comes from my disabilities. And I say disability in reference to something like autism because of how it's considered socially and how it interacts with the rest of the world. A lot of the disabilities, quote unquote, from autism really only show up because of lack of, um, what's the word? Like, um, what's the word? Why can't I think of the word? The things to help, right? There's just not accommodations. That's the word. There aren't many accommodations for people with autism, and because of that, a lot of the disabilities come up in like social aspects, especially. Um, and like, of course, there are other aspects of autism that are disabilities, regardless of the accommodations you're given. I don't know. Accommodations might not even be the right word because I'm also thinking of like, you know, not doing small talk or accepting the fact that some people think of small talk differently from how you do, right? Um, so like whether or not you even want to call that an accommodation. But then there's also like um, different ways of learning or even different rates of learning. That's the kind of disability that I mean, because a lot of autistic people just learn in different ways from neurotypical people. So, favorite word is mustard. That's totally fair. I also like rutabaga. You like? Wait, I'm confused. Is that just you like playing your guitar and writing guitar solos? Is that it? Or am I missing something? Yeah, I mean, physical disabilities are different, but like autism is a lot of who I am in a lot of ways. Um, and like I like it. I probably either wouldn't be Therian or wouldn't know that I was Therian if I wasn't autistic, kind of thing. Um, so, and it's just like comforting to have that kind of identity. I don't know if that makes sense. It's comforting to have that, but also to have communities that accept that because those communities are also a lot more accepting in a lot of ways too. So there are a lot of reasons that I would want to not be holistic. Dark Souls 3 is mid. True. Probably. Uh, Ragamuffin? What does that mean? And am I pronouncing it correctly? Whoa, that was scary. I don't know. I like Dark Souls 3. I think it's fun. I wouldn't call it mid, but in terms of the rest of the series, I would absolutely put it like smack dab in the middle in terms of like preference. Beowulf. You know, I was thinking about Sonic 06 and how it was making me think of the future of the franchise. This is going to take some explaining. Um, I will explain that in a second, but my point is, I realized that Sonic 06 is 20 years old almost, which is so weird. Sonic 06 is old enough to vote. um, anyway, my, I was thinking like how Silver plays just dramatically different from Sonic. Blaze does too, even. And a lot of people were wanting like, or we're talking about wanting a new Silver-based game, like entirely based around Silver, just like how Shadow Generations was entirely Shadow, you know? But I feel like I wouldn't want that just because Silver would just play like Sonic, but with telekinesis. I feel like if they made a new game, right? As opposed to Sonic 06, where he just plays completely differently. Anyway. Have I been making Souls content for a year or so? I don't think it's been... Oh, I need to fight Super Ornstein. I almost forgot. I hate that, actually. Oh. I stumbled. Sonic 06 cannot drink alcohol yet, thankfully. It's not quite that old. But... well, I guess I can drink alcohol in places that aren't the US, huh? I didn't think about that. Uh-oh, that's not good. uh. Ragamuffins, that kind of cat. Okay. Drinking brandy in the UK. I don't know. I really like the game. As weird as it is to say, I think Sonic 06 is a really fun game. I've been having a really great time with that. I finished Sonic Story last night and then got to... I think I'm about to enter the desert level in Silver Story, which I know is the one that a lot of people hate. This is plus 15, yeah. I could squeeze out a bit more damage with, like, Power Within or whatever, but I don't think that's necessary at all. I think the damage is plenty high. I just need to be good at the video game, which is kind of the problem. Oh. Well, I should be good at Ornstein and Smo. I'm just not used to fighting Smo first. Oh, skill issue. Up! My whole life flashed before my eyes. Oh. Everything's fine. I just need to not get cornered. Play a little bit carefully. Lucerne is very cool. I'm liking it a lot so far. Damn it. Hey, instability damage. That wasn't bad. God damn. I imagine counter damage with the Leo ring is going to be pretty solid too. Can you stop jumping away, please? I don't like being this close to him at the start. Okay, that's fine. We're fine. Everything's good. Okay. Best hitboxes in the game. Uh-oh. Owie. That's not good. Okay, everything's fine. No! I haven't died yet. Anyway. How are we all doing? That was so unnecessary. It'll just make this fight harder, but that's fine. No, not you. I forgot. That's so much damage. Jesus Christ. Why is the Leo ring behind Super Ornstein? This is so rude. Damage. We like damage here. Jesus. Uh oh. Owie. See, now would be a great time for humanity. Assuming this doesn't hit me. And this also doesn't hit me. I should just use an Estus. This is so unnecessary. Okay. Everything's fine. Cool. Okay, I got it this time. I just need to not get crunched. I'm not used to Super Ornstein's butt slam tell because Smo's is super obvious. Ornstein's is not at all to me. Just because I haven't fought Super Ornstein very much. Oh god. There we go. Easy. Oh, wait, he drops it, doesn't he? Yeah, I've been banned for a long time. I played online with a randomizer. I might as well put this on. I don't see why not. The S-Stock? I haven't used it for a full run yet, but I really like the moveset and I think it's really fun to use. $50 for Risky? That's pretty... I mean, I don't know. I guess it's probably not expensive relatively, but that's a lot of money on alcohol. Yeah, true. It is very homophobic. I don't know. I feel like Super Ornstein isn't that hard, but sometimes the hitboxes and tells are very funky, and that makes it harder than it needs to be. I think that's my experience with Super Ornstein. That said, the first time I ever beat Ornstein and Smo was through Super Ornstein. Is that Artorias with the Night Helm? Artorias out with the Night Helm? That looked shockingly good. I bet the Night Helm is just lighter. I'll definitely do an S-Stack run with or on like a stream or whatever for sure. I think that'd be really fun. Sif. I think the Leo ring will actually be pretty useful on Sif specifically. And the Four Kings, I think. Depending on how vulnerable the Four Kings are. To, like, counter damage, I mean. Ooh, ouchie. Skill issue. Taking my revenge on one of the first things to kill me this run. Hello, Loot Crate. Welcome to the stream. Have I gotten back into other games I've enjoyed? How do you mean? Like a game that I stopped playing for a while and got back into? Let me think. I mean, probably. But like it depends on what you mean by get back into, because I've always loved CarQuest, right? And then I stopped playing that for like a few months and then played it again. Do you consider that kind of thing? I haven't played something like, I don't know. There are times where I go a year or two not playing a game like Mario 64 or whatever too, right? So it really depends on what you mean by that. Yeah, I don't know. Super Insane isn't that bad. It's just kind of funky. I like cider. Cider is really nice. I had what was it? The Angry Orchard cider, like a couple months ago. It was really nice. Nope. All right. Have a good night, Nick. Thank you for joining while you could. Oh my goodness. One shot. I was not expecting a one shot. Yeah, I really like cider. I also really like, what was it? Um, owie. I had green apple Jack Daniels one time. That was really, really good, actually. It was like weirdly sweet too. um, my partner put it in, or put some in chocolate ice cream because I wanted to get drunk, but they didn't want to just drink straight alcohol. Um, and they didn't like it, but I thought it was really, really good. Also, just like a normal Mike's Hard Lemonade, but I feel like that goes without saying. Cursed or immaculate? What stream, out of curiosity, would you have considered immaculate? 452. Jesus. That's crazy damage. Um, I only started playing Warframe recently, and that was, I don't know. I imagine if I had played before the quality of life stuff, um, I wouldn't have gotten sucked in like I did. I have like 200 something hours in Warframe, which I know for a game like Warframe isn't that much. Um, but for someone who doesn't play MMOs at all, that's quite a bit. And to have in an MMO specifically. And now I main Zephyr and have Ember as a secondary. I recently got Ember Prime because a partner who also plays Warframe offered to get them for me because I was struggling with farming Aya and getting that. Milk stream was cursed. That's really funny. Yeah, I don't dislike the Jack Daniels I've tried. I've tried normal and I've tried green apple, and it was just kind of nice. There are a lot of alcohols that I want to try though, that I just haven't had the opportunity to. Like I've never had a beer in my entire life. Like granted, I'm 22, but my grandpa used to drink beers all the time and has offered me beer several times, and I've just never taken it. Um, and now he lives like 500 miles away, so I would happily play Warframe with you if you did install it. I love Warframe. I think it's really fun. It's a movement shooter. Um, it's like a, I don't know. I guess if I had to describe it, it's a PVE hero shooter, movement shooter. So like each Warframe plays pretty dramatically differently. Um, and then it's also like very heavily movement based. There are some Warframes that are more tanky or like relying on traps or whatever that aren't very movement based, but even they have like the bullet jump. So I haven't played Destiny 2 at all, so I have no idea. But I don't know if Lam is still here. She might be able to answer that for you. Like Titanfall? Titanfall if the people have the abilities of the Titans, I guess. I actually own Dark Sector. I tried to play it, but I didn't get very far. Um, Probably because of the antiquatedness of it. I don't know. It was just, I think it was more just because of the hardware I'm running it on just doesn't really support the game very well because it's, not exactly a new game. Um, Eventually I do want to play it though. Yeah, I really liked Titanfall 2, and I don't even like shooters. Warframe is third person as opposed to first person, but even then. Yeah, I know it's poorly supported. Um, that was the issue. I do just want to like try to play it though. Try to find a tutorial to optimize it or whatever. I'm sure something like that exists. Something to make the game run better. I have a friend who loves the Thief games. And the original, it does not. I think it was Thief. I don't know. They also like Thief, if I'm not thinking of Thief. But they tried to play an older game, and they had to do a ton of stuff just to. Not a ton of stuff, but they had to do stuff to make it not crash. That wasn't counter damage. That was counter damage. 423 as opposed to 356 or whatever. What was the. Excuse me. Oh, come on. I swear to God. Sif is not difficult. Why is she jump? Stop it! Stop jumping around. 381. Okay, I guess that's not that big of a boost, actually. Oh my God. Please, just let me attack you. There we go. The feet games. Don't know if a tutorial exists. Yeah, but like, I don't know. Like, a text thing that's like written on a random forum a decade ago that still works perfectly somehow. I don't expect like a brand new YouTube tutorial or whatever. Okay, our damage is basically where it's gonna be at for the rest of the game. I want to keep the Leo ring on. I'm just gonna break the ring of favor and protection. I don't need it. God. I'm thinking of games that I need to play, and it just all goes back to Sonic games that I want to make videos about on my second channel. Like, I want to redo Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Unleashed, Sonic Heroes. I need to finish Sonic and the Secret Rings. I want to play, or I need to write the scripts for Sonic R and Sonic Riders, and I want to play Zero Gravity, and Free Riders with a controller patch, obviously, because I'm not insane. I want to play Shadow the Hedgehog. I want to make a video about Shadow Generations. Like, that's just what my brain goes to when I think of games that I need to play. But I also really want to play games like Animal Well is one that I've been wanting to play for a while, for instance. So there are a lot of games that I really want to play and just haven't had the chance to or haven't had the money for. Yeah, I need to finish Peace Walker and then play Metal Gear Solid 5 and Ground Zeroes, obviously. I did play Ground Zeroes, but I also hadn't finished Peace Walker yet. And I didn't understand most of what was going on. So I'm going to need to replay Ground Zeroes after I play Peace Walker. And then I want to play... Or I need to finish 4 as well. So... Same for me there, too. 4 is really, really good of what I have played, though. Okay, that's not terrible damage. It's actually pretty good, especially without RTSR or power within. 713? Am I sweet spotting? Wait, why is that so high? Does counter damage not get applied to the full health bar? What? I know it has something to do with a stumble weapon, right? Because Limit Breakers made a video about that a long time ago. We could get 12 kings because of, like, the stumble weapon, but that's, like, an insane difference. What? Okay. I emulated Metal Gear Solid 4. It crashes pretty frequently. There's like a specific emulator setup and like build of the PS4 emulator, or PS3 emulator rather, um, that is specifically set up for Metal Gear Solid 4 that crashes way less often, and that's what I used. Yeah, I really like the Lucerne so far. I don't know that it rivals the Scythe for my favorite weapon, but it's definitely really fun. Ouch. I don't know, Gargoyle's Halberd is also really good. This is probably my third favorite polearm, but also probably third favorite weapon in the game. So far, anyway, that I've used. And that's saying a lot, because I've used like 50 weapons, at least, if not more. Probably more. Definitely more. I don't know, I've used a lot of weapons is the point. I specifically like halberd polearms, not spears. I don't dislike spears, but non-spear polearms are better in my opinion. Just for me, in my playstyle. Yeah, the Great Scythe backstab animation. Works well on the Scythe, not so much on the Great Scythe. Oops. Uh, didn't they keep the same animation in up through Dark Souls 3 too? I don't remember. Uh, Seath. The Scythe is completely different from the Great Scythe. I also didn't super love the Great Scythe. I like the Life End Scythe a lot. That was really fun. Because, like, maxing out your bleed resistance is really funny. um, but the Great Scythe never really did it for me. But the Scythe is a Bardiche. That's just called the Scythe for some reason. And that's what my favorite weapon in the game. That was my first ever stream, actually, I think. Using the best weapon in Dark Souls, but it's actually just a Scythe because it's my favorite weapon. Sure, wondering, why not? Blade and sorcery, but every single surface of every single weapon can cut, even the handle. uh, Great gay wolf. She's a lesbian? Hell yeah. Incredibly based. Me too. You know, recently, it was slightly before the TikTok ban and restructure thing they did. Also, Borehome. Um, there was a video of this guy talking about how he doesn't understand bisexual women. I think it was Connor Eats Pants, who I think is a streamer actually. Anyway, there was a clip uploaded to TikTok at least where he said he didn't understand bisexual women because they're so close. Because women are just so much better. I don't think I knew of like Norse mythology Sif for a while, but um, as soon as I learned about it, it was like, yeah, it makes sense that the wolf from Dark Souls is a girl. I agree with that. Um, I didn't ever think that Sif was a guy. Actually, I might have. I might have said he just by default in some of my older videos. I don't remember. Because I'm pretty sure I called Sif she in my gun video, right? I don't know. It's been a long time since I've wrote this. So I don't tend to watch a lot of my older content back. Sometimes I do, because it's like, I don't even remember doing that run. What was this? Or like I'll remember a bit from one of the videos and I'll end up watching the video and seeing what the bit was or whatever. 2 hits on those guys is pretty good, actually. Yeah, TikTok. TikTok was cool. I still use it sometimes because I like seeing like a lot of the art that is posted on there because a lot of people still use it for art. Um, but now it's a lot of for me, my feed is almost entirely political content, which is good because that's what I used it for before. I used it for art and political content. Um, but because of the restructure, the political content is just weird. Like the algorithm just feels dramatically different. Um, and like it's always been kind of depressing because it's politics, but like it's more now because of the state of politics. I don't know if I can handle it with my mental health and everything. So yeah. Well, I mean, you literally can't search um, Trump rigged election. If you try to search that, and like I was skeptical of this because there were a lot of things that people were saying, oh, well, let me search this. And it let me search it just fine, like banned books. Somebody said you can't search banned books on TikTok, and you just can. Like they were just straight up lying. Um, but you can't search Trump rigged election. It'll tell you that that goes against their community guidelines or whatever, um, which is very sus. Red Note's funny. I don't think I don't think it's a very good like social media to use as a social media or whatever. Um, plus, it's ran by or not ran. I think it is actually ran by the Chinese government. So like do with that information what you will, regardless of American anti-China propaganda, whatever. Um, wow, really? One shot? Come back here. I switched almost entirely from TikTok to Blue Sky because a lot of people post art there. Um, a lot of people do on that what I use TikTok for, and I just have to read now, which is like, I mean, I do that anyway, so I like Blue Sky. Blue Sky's a pretty good social media. Yeah, I also don't trust the American government at all, but it's hard to. Also, Pasakas. I kind of forgot. Don't worry, I will. On the last one. I'll let it penetrate me, and then I'll penetrate it. No! I killed all of them! I didn't think that would kill all of them. That was a weird hitbox. There we go. To make up for it. I'll backstab both of them since I didn't get the grab attack. The hottest enemy in Dark Souls. Jeez. Yeah, Blue Sky's really good. A lot of really cool people on there too. No, I tried to backstab and it didn't work. I just kind of go on there and scroll every now and then because, like it shows me art. It shows me Sonic stuff because I have specifically followed a bunch of Sonic accounts so that my algorithm is leaned towards Sonic stuff. I'm also following an account called Quest64 Official. I don't know. I think it works pretty well, and it's a lot of people share art there just because of what Twitter was. Still is to a degree, but Blue Sky is just Twitter but better at this point. So like a lot of artists moved over to Blue Sky. Some people like kind of me. I used Blue Sky before TikTok is what it is now. Was what it is now. You know what I mean? I used Blue Sky before, but a few people did move from TikTok to Blue Sky. So there's just a few, or yeah, there's a bunch of cool people on there that I enjoy the content of. So, and I'm on there. I post to Blue Sky sometimes. Not nearly as much as my Discord, but I do post to Blue Sky sometimes. I think my tag on Blue Sky is Solar Pellets, but my username on Blue Sky right now is Rukatu. So, kind of combination of both my channels into one account. Mostly because I prefer having my face as the profile picture instead of a lemon. Jesus. I like representing myself more than lemon, which is just more a thing that refers to me that actually represents me, I think. Okay, I drank a bunch of water, so hopefully my throat stops doing that. I can't wait to die to Seath and have to do this entire, or do the entire run all the way down through the Crystal Cave again. So excited for that. If I die to Seath, I'll cry. Does Seath get counter damaged on when he's doing Crystal Breath? Owie. Actually, I have no idea. I feel like counter damage is weird on attacks that last a long time. I'm pretty sure Seath is also not, like, weak to piercing damage, so... Of all the damage types, I think Strike would be the best for various reasons. Mostly because the enemies that are weak to it, like Gaping Dragon, Seath, Calamite. But Slash is pretty good too. Yeah, I've had random people follow me. One person was absolutely following me to like get me to see their account because it was like some weird business thing. I don't know. Would I let Seeds turn me into a Pasaka? That's a good question. Would I be sapient still? Like, would I still be there, or would my mind be destroyed from the process? Because, like, if I could learn to use the tentacles as hands, you know, and still play games and stuff, and they can talk, right? Because they're the two that are crying, and those two are definitely still sapient. If I ended up still sapient, then yes. Otherwise, no. The Pasakas are the blue tentacle things. Basically, Seath was experimenting with immortality or whatever, and turned maidens, I think it says in the lore, into the Pasakas. Same with the butterflies, actually. Not sure about the golems. I think the golems are just like crystals animated by souls kind of thing. And that's why they're called golems. Golems are cool. It's weird how much Jewish folklore differs from Jewish mythology, if that makes sense. Because, like, golems are part of folklore, as opposed to, like, the Torah. I don't know if golems are actually in the Torah, now that I think about it. The, and from the Torah that got turned into the Christian Bible, at least, I don't think there's any reference to that kind of thing. An absolute freak of a dragon? I hate Seath. um, yeah, Seath is probably one of my least favorite characters in Souls in terms of, like, liking them as a character. Also my least favorite boss in the game, but that's for different reasons. He's just really boring. Alright, let's see. Oh, that's not bad at all. Whoa. That's pretty good damage. Yeah, I got really into Jewish mythology for a while because I had like just come out of Christianity. And like, oh no. And like seeing that from that perspective, from like an outside perspective, completely shifted how I viewed all of it. I thought it was really interesting. Yeah, that was really good damage on Seath. Bit of chaos next. Way more impressionist? I don't know what that means. Vitality. Yeah, I don't need more endurance, I don't think. Not yet, anyway. I should put on this. Can I? I cannot. Really? Okay. Never mind, apparently. The Legend's Reign of Terror? What legend? I have not played I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream, but I have read the book, or the short story, whatever. I really like it. I think it's a really good story. I've seen people play the game, and I probably wouldn't be able to get through it. Chaos Ender. Yeah. Giant Dad. I've been wanting to do a Giant Dad stream, but like, I don't know. I don't think it would be that interesting, all things considered. The Golem of Prague. It's like the movie was made in the 1920s. That's pretty cool. I don't know. I think I got all the impact from the book that I will get from the idea of I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. I don't know. Something something. Roko's Basilisk. My pants are falling down. What the heck? I've been sitting down this whole time. I don't understand how that could have happened. um, I'm curious about the damage on the Demon Fire Sage, just because it's not weak to piercing, it's weak to slash. So I want to see. Game you need a notebook for. The only game I played that I felt like I needed a notebook for was Tunic. That was really, really fun. I love Tunic. Such a good game. If I remember correctly, the story of the game is actually pretty different from the book story. Like they parallel each other, but um like the characters don't get like trapped in cages or whatever. um and the I don't know, the torture they go through is pretty different. I want to play Myst, but every time I've tried, I've kind of bounced off of it because I didn't want to read the books. Yeah, I just want to hear Riven and Tunic and whatever. Makes me think of Myst. I need to play Outer Wilds. I know that's not really one that you would probably need a notebook for, but I really need to play that. Um, I think it has the same kind of structure as Myst in that way. Learning that CarQuest was based on Myst was such a weird, like, revelation. Yeah, I've heard. So many people have told me that it's an incredible game, and if I liked Tunic, then I'd like Outer Wilds, but I just haven't had the, like, drive to play it yet. And it's not that I don't want to play it. It's just that I haven't yet. I will eventually. Because I do think I'll like it quite a bit. Yeah, I don't know. Especially coming off of Tunic, I feel like it'll be just a dramatically different experience. And I'll need to settle into that fact. Pardon me. I can't imagine that I won't end up liking it. Come on, really? I think I tried to play Outer Wilds at one point, but I didn't know where to start, so I ended up flying to one of the planets, died immediately. Haven't gone back to try it. That was kind of the same thing with Myst. I didn't really know where to start, so I bounced off of it. Yeah, that's the problem. I go anywhere. I went to the... I don't remember exactly. There was something that killed me almost immediately. I don't know. I'll try it again. Eventually. That's what I did, and I died. Oh god! I forgot that was a crab attack. Help. I don't think I've ever been grabbed by this worm in my life. That was a unique experience. Jesus. You know, usually when somebody says that, they're not threatening to make me play a video game. Okay, the damage isn't great. Not bad, though. Could be worse. Uh-oh. Ugh. I'm surprised I didn't get hit there. Cool. Yeah. I think if you were to take this in a New Game Plus, you'd absolutely need something like some Nightblade to keep it viable, but I mean, that's like 99% of weapons anyway, so I think it's pretty good. Hmm. Vitality. I need to adjust my brace. Here we go. My thumb is starting to hurt. I almost just jumped off because I'm so used to using Red Tearstone Ring for this. But I actually don't want to take damage this time. I imagine Centipede Demon won't be too bad. Normally I'm a little worried about Nito, but I'm just not this time either at all. Wow, that is good damage. If it would let me put the ring on, please. There we go. I'm pretty sure Remastest, like, pretty dramatically decreases the damage you take in the lava. Yeah, I have repetitive strain injury and carpal tunnel tendonitis. It's not like carpal tunnel, but it's tendonitis in the same area as carpal tunnel would be. So I definitely need a brace to play games at all, really, at this point. Oh yeah, I easily could one-shot the skeletons for sure. I should probably get, like, what are they called? The gloves that, like, put pressure on your hands. Those would probably help a lot, too, actually. Um, Remastered is really good. Highly, highly recommend it. I don't know. I don't know that I'd recommend a sort of vanilla playthrough first, or like go all in with everything, get guns immediately, and obliterate the game. It kind of depends on what you want. My first playthrough, I just used whatever gun I found and had a good time. Um, but it's also really fun to just use vanilla stuff in that because of how different everything is. Honestly, if Remastered added power stancing, it would be the definitive way to play Dark Souls. Because it doesn't have power stancing, it's still really good, but the trade-offs in the like scaling and like glitch differences and stuff make me prefer Remastered. I have no idea what ring splints are. The brace that I have now is just a thumb brace, which is supposed to help with tendonitis. Um, it's not a wrist brace or whatever. Yeah. If Dark Souls 1 was Dark Souls 2, it would be a lot better. Wow, the most like casual build of all time. That was funny. I love it. I mean, admittedly, mine's not any better. Mine's probably just worse that, but still funny. I think it'd be really cool to have the Souls games in each other's engines, like exploring the world of Dark Souls 2 with Dark Souls 1's movement and everything, or like um, the Dark Souls 1 world in Elden Ring would be really cool, I think. Yeah, I mean, guns are still pretty powerful. Like, they're not absurdly broken, but they're pretty good. Yeah, the jank, for lack of a better term, is a lot of what I like about Dark Souls 1. Honestly, that goes for a lot of games. Like, Sonic Adventure, Sonic Adventure 1 specifically, is one of my favorite games. Like, it's probably in top 20, top 25. Um, and a lot of that is because of how janky it is and the like glitches and stuff you can do, and like stuff like spin dash jumps and whatever. Um, Super Mario 64 has a lot of fun glitches to mess with. Um, Ocarina of Time, especially, turns into a sandbox if you know what you're doing. John Core. Flying around Dark Souls 3's world in an armored core. Is that what they're called? The mech suits? Are they just called armored cores? I don't remember. It's been a long time since I started or tried to play armored core. I'm shocked that didn't hit me, actually. I was really poorly timed. They are called armored cores. Okay. It kind of depends on the game for me, because like for something like Ocarina of Time, I would understand it being hard to like start playing today, just because finding out a lot of where to go is kind of esoteric, and that can be fun. But it's very much a product of its time, and I can see not liking that, for instance. Um, Super Mario 64's movement system is really hard to get a grasp on if you don't spend hours just messing with it. um, so yeah, like to a point, absolutely, I agree. Um, but generally, like I understand where people are coming from. Oh, I didn't see it. No, that's messed up. I have to go to the bathroom real quick. I will be right back. And back. Ramen. What kind of ramen? What flavor? What brand and what flavor, I guess. No. Terrible time for my controller to disconnect. I really love Bed of Chaos. Like, I wouldn't go so far as to like put in one of my favorite bosses in this game or whatever, but I actually really like Bed of Chaos. I cannot believe you would say that to me. That's just mean, I think. Yeah, a lot of companies being evil now really sucks. I mean, to be fair, most companies have been evil since the start. We just didn't know, but still. Chicken is the best flavor. You are correct. I only have beef right now, and I like the chicken a lot more, especially the way I prepare ramen a lot of the time, but beef is fine. I think it's more accurate to say that I can't believe that I believe that you would say that to me. I don't like pork generally, but like if you like pork, it makes sense you'd like pork ramen. I would love to trade. Chicken is definitely my favorite by far. Though I think my roommate is the one who wanted the beef, so you might have to consult them. Okay. No! Dang it. I can't believe I missed the jump up. That's the easy part. Uh, you know what? I'm going to do this just for brevity's sake. Um, Let me change this. There we go. Okay. The run back isn't exactly the interesting part here. I just like the chicken. The chicken is, I don't know. It's the only one that I would consider better than the others. I really do not like the shrimp though. Shrimp is definitely my least favorite flavor that I've tried. Um, just in case, I'm also going to back up the or store the position too. I did run at double speed. I used DSR gadget, which is the same thing I used to do Can You Beat Dark Souls at double speed or whatever I called the video. Stir fry the noodles. See, the problem with that is that would take cooking skill, which I don't have. That was terrifying. A live flash before my eyes. In my opinion, you're not missing out much. Are you kidding me on the not having shrimp ramen? But I can't believe I've died to Bed of Chaos 3 times. That's more than I've died to Bed of Chaos in the past, like, 6 runs or 6 streams or something. I don't know. I don't die to Bed of Chaos very often. Rest at bonfire. Oops. May or may not have temporarily broken the game until I reach a bonfire again. Or die. Really? I didn't think that would be there forever. Okay, whatever. A trolley boss? Oh, trolley? I disagree. I think it's a pretty standard boss. You just gotta know what you're doing. Why can't I make this jump? I don't understand. This is an easy jump. I do this all the time. This is just how I fight this boss. I don't understand. What am I doing wrong? Okay. Just gonna slide down a little bit faster. Okay, I was really worried that would break the AI. I'm glad it didn't. Maybe if I do this. Ooh, owie. Okay. I don't know if that actually made me jump farther or not, or if that was just placebo, but I made it this time. What don't you like about Nito? I don't know. Like, I guess if you're restricting yourself to using one weapon, but if you just, like, let yourself use a divine weapon or whatever, kind of just stops being an issue. At least in my opinion. I don't know. But I also just like Nito as a fight, generally. It's one of the harder fights if you're not specifically built for it, in my opinion. But either way, I don't think it's that bad of a boss. Or that difficult of a fight, I guess I should have said. No. You know what? That one was skill issue too, is the thing. What don't you like about Four Kings? Four Kings are a good fight. I really like the Four Kings. Okay, this is the one, probably. Because, yeah, okay, that's fair. I'd probably play Elden Ring more if I was better at fighting the bosses. But the bosses aren't... I don't enjoy the bosses enough to want to learn how to be better at them, so I just don't. There we go. Easy. Don't get bearded to death. Cool. I don't know. I guess I'm not even that bad at Elden Ring. Yeah, Elden Ring suffers from not being very fun, exactly. That's my issue with it. Okay. Neato. I think if the world was a lot more condensed and the bosses, if they focused primarily on the main bosses instead of having so many mini bosses, actually I don't even know if that's true because it's kind of just the design philosophy that makes me not like it, not necessarily the quality of the bosses themselves. I don't know. It's not like they have super it's not like they're super perfectly well polished or anything either. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't like Elden Ring, I guess, is my problem. Hornet Ring, because why not? Doesn't the Hornet Ring not affect plunging attacks? It's like only ripostes and backstabs. Yeah, a lot of open worlds are just either too big or too empty. One of the few open worlds that I actually liked the first time I played it was Elden Ring. Not Elden Ring, Jesus. The opposite of Elden Ring was Breath of the Wild, just because it was cool to see like how the world opened up and how you were expected, I don't need to run there, to like explore areas and how to learn to explore areas and stuff. And then Tears of the Kingdom didn't have that at all, and I think it's because I had already played Breath of the Wild and gotten that experience. Pardon me. Pardon me. Jesus. Rude. Whoever gave me that extra Estus, thank you. Very useful. I should not jump down yet. Yeah, I really liked my first playthrough of Breath of the Wild. I tried to replay it a couple times. It never really worked. I almost got all the Korok seeds, but I didn't quite get there. I don't know. I like Breath of the Wild a lot. Haven't really gone back to it. Alright, here we go. Hardest boss. That was really close. I almost got hit. What mask? Mask of the Mother. I might have put it on if it was Mask of the Child. Even then, though, not super useful. Yeah, I've been very disillusioned with Nintendo recently. I used to love Nintendo, and I would follow up like with their news all the time. I was super excited for the Switch 2 for a long time. And then, like, the only good game they've made recently was was Mario Wonder. And even then, that's just like a decent 2D platformer. Echoes of Wisdom was really boring for me, just like really not my style of game. I didn't like, what was the other one I played? I didn't like Tears of the Kingdom all that much. I was kind of excited for Metroid Prime 4, but at this point, it's just kind of like, I don't know. I'll play it if I get the chance, but I won't go out of my way for it. I don't know. There's just a lot of... I used to be super into Nintendo, and then they stopped making games that I enjoy, which made it way easier to get disillusioned with them and like really look into how terrible of a business they are. Like, they've always been a really bad business, but I've never noticed because I liked their games. I tried to play Metroid Dread as the thing, and I don't know what it Jesus, I don't know what it was. I loved Samus Returns. That was so much fun. I played it so much as a kid, or well, as a teenager, I guess. And then when I tried Metroid Dread, it was another game I just kind of bounced off of. I don't know. That's probably more on me, to be honest. God, Kirby and the Forgotten Land had so much potential, but it's so boring. At least the first few worlds are really boring. I didn't get very far just because I got bored of it. Yeah, and now there's a Nintendo tax where every single game is $60. And all the things that they could have done to, like, keep the fan base happy, they just haven't done. Like, they could have just immediately put the entire Nintendo 64 library on Switch. Or, like, I mean, not even Nintendo 64. I understand why they have to drip feed Nintendo 64 games onto the service. But, like, NES games? You're not just going to drop the entire NES library that you have the licensing to? Why not? There's no reason not to when it's a subscription service anyway, right? Or, like, Super Nintendo, it's not like you need to optimize those games. You just play them natively, basically. You don't need to mess with the emulator at all. With Nintendo 64, it's different, I guess, because you have to, like, optimize games better because the emulation isn't as straightforward. But then, like, I don't know. Same with like Game Boy Advanced and Game Boy libraries. Like, they're just drip feeding it. It's really frustrating. Welcome to the stream. I'm actually not that close to the end. We still have the entire DLC. So, there's still a good chunk of stream left. That range is so much more than I expect every time. Not bad. Not great, but definitely not bad. Owie. I should be more careful. That's fine. Oh, he's exploding. That's not good. No, I thought I was far away enough. That's unfortunate. Yeah, that's less. I don't think it's not the issue that emulation is a most accessible way to get those games. It's that they don't make any effort to preserve them. Because like Sony does so much better with that, right? Basically, all of the important games from PS1 and PS2 are playable on PS5. And then like the PS3 was able to play PS1 and PS2 games, or not all of the PS3 models, but some of them were able to play those, right? With the PS4, they started doing like the online stuff, and like you can play some PS3 games through streaming on the PS4 and PS5, and it's like they're actually trying to do that, right? And the Xbox has really good backwards compatibility as well, right? But then with Nintendo, they keep changing stuff, so like it doesn't bother me that Nintendo DS cartridges, excuse me, can't be put in the Switch, right? The problem is that they're making zero effort to make Nintendo DS games playable still. They're making zero effort to make the vast majority of their libraries playable. Like, GameCube games are so difficult to get your hands on now. It's really frustrating. And like the fact that they are using emulation to make some of their old games accessible when it would be so easy to make almost all of them incredibly easily accessible for the vast majority of their fans. It's just like so weird and such a weird business practice, but it's also just frustrating too from a consumer standpoint, right? I don't know. They could make so many other consumers so happy and so many more people want to use the service if they just made more games accessible via the service, and they just don't. I don't know. On top of how they treat their fans and fan creations and stuff. Like, when Nintendo starts being as good as Sega is with Sonic in terms of like fan games and stuff, you know, then I might get back into being a Nintendo fan, but until then, I'm not interested. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna die. They were attacking so fast. I can't believe I just died to Nito a second time. Yeah, Nintendo GameCube games especially are just impossible to access. And like when it comes to like Sega games, right? Like they're also way more well preserved. You can play a lot of Dreamcast games on PC even at this point. Um like to a point, right? But like the important ones that I can think of off the top of my head, the ones that had huge fan bases like Sonic Adventure, Sonic Adventure 2, even Sonic R got a port, right? And that's still a GameCube game, so that goes back to the issue of Nintendo, but still, right? I don't know. I don't know. Nintendo sucks. I stopped being a Nintendo fan a while ago, and unless they suddenly become a much better company, that's not really going to change. I got disillusioned by them not making good games. And like because we're at the point that GameCube emulation is so easy and getting ROMs is so accessible, like it's not that bad, but it's just the fact that they do so terribly and they're trying to get rid of that. Ugh, I don't know. Going on a tirade about video game emulation. Anyway, Dark Souls. Am I right? I need a Sonic Heroes remake. If they do a Sonic Heroes remake, I will love Sega. Not even, it doesn't even have to be a remake. It can be a remaster. I'd be happy. I want Sonic Heroes playable on modern consoles. Stop trying to parry me. Oh my god. I just need to be more careful with my health, I think. And not try to do that. Because this weapon is slow. My whole life flashed before my eyes. That's not what I meant to do. Ugh. This weapon is so slow. I forget how slow it is. I didn't realize that the skeletons would be this much of an issue with the speed. Oh my god. Run. Really? The range on that... I swear to god. I swear it's smaller than that most of the time. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna kill Nita this time. This is the one, probably. Yeah. Neato indeed. I don't know. Dark Souls is like basically my job until I get paid for the Sonic videos. Actually, that's not that unachievable. My second channel has been getting a lot of subscribers recently because of the tornado video. I think that video's at like 6,000, which isn't that much, but for a brand new channel that has 3 videos, that's not that bad. Don't die and kill other things. That's genius. I'll do my best to implement that strategy. Anyway, yeah, that tornado video has gotten me 6,000 views on that channel and several hundred subscribers. Not several hundred, sorry, but like well over 100 subscribers. Granted, the channel had like 100 something subscribers before I posted a single video, but still. Yeah, it's just because the weapon is slow. If the weapon was faster, this would be really easy. Because the damage is good. I mostly made my second channel because I wanted to make video essays and like video game reviews and stuff. And like Sonic was the main reason for that. Because I used to do like Sonic reviews on my main channel. I used to do Sonic reviews on my main channel. But then Dark Souls happened and I didn't want to do that because algorithm reasons. And I wanted the videos to have like a chance on the algorithm. I really, really wish my Black Knight video would have done better. Just because I put a lot of effort into that video. And it's like one of my favorite videos I've ever made. If you like Sonic, definitely please check out my Black Knight video over on my second channel. I'm really proud of that one. Skeletal Boogaloo, indeed. This button, yeah. I haven't gotten hit once during the run back, so I feel like this is fine to do. Yeah, and then of course the video that I make in a day about some stupid random thing in the Sonic franchise that I don't actually care about that much. It does really, really well. Yeah, I really love Sonic and the Black Knight. A lot of people don't like it, and I get it because it's gimmicky, but it's also like really, really good in my opinion. Oh, good. I couldn't see because the because the restored thingy. Everything's fine. I don't understand how I had no issue on my first attempt. I know I'm dying over and over. Okay, that's fine. Really? Neato! Come over here, please. Okay. Should be good. What? How are you up already? Okay. This is a very fortuitous explosion because I can actually get far enough away this time and it'll take out the skeletons. Except this one. Never mind. Where's the other skeleton? I only saw 2 damage numbers. Okay. This is going much better. Okay, one more. Nice. Sonic and Dark Souls. I mean, Black Knight is probably the closest you're going to get to that. Wait a second. Hold on. I have the best idea. Okay, are you ready for Sonic the Hedgehog and Dark Souls? Anyway. Yeah, Black Knight is really, really good. I think the video that I made on it is also really, really good, but might be a little bit biased. You said your name was Nico, right? I don't remember if that was you or not, but I assume, considering you said Nito was close to your name. Yeah, it is just a long pickaxe. Okay. I'm glad it's not just my bias making... Well, actually, you'd probably be biased too, so I don't know if that's a fair review. At least not an unbiased one. Dang, this stream is definitely going to go over 3 hours. That's not a big deal, but I want to go back to playing Sonic 06. Never thought I'd say that in my life. Actually, that's not entirely true. I've always wanted to, like, play Sonic 06. My first real exposure to the game was one of those Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie, all cutscenes thing, like one of those videos. And like, because I was a child, the story like really encapsulated me, and I really, really loved that. And then I would see like gameplay of people playing it, and like, oh, this game is so terrible, it's so buggy, and I still wanted to try it because it looked fun, regardless of the bugs, and that ended up being very true, and I really, really liked the game. Really, really, it's really janky, but I don't think that that makes the game less fun. I thought I would be safe from flirting this stream. Yeah, Sonic 06. I hope you enjoyed your pizza. I really like actually the blue gem. You can get it after Flame Core? No. Yes. It's either after Flame Core or the train level. I don't remember. The blue gem is like, it's like a boost button, and it actually like really changes how you engage with the movement and the platforming, and I think it's really, really fun. And doesn't break the game at all. But then you get, you know, the purple gem, and the blue sky blue gem, and you just break the game completely. So. Uh-oh. $477. I want to get counter damage, but there's not really any way to guarantee a hit with counter damage. Oh, everything's fine. Was that counter or instability? I think that's counter. Uh oh. The reach on the Lucerne isn't nearly as long as I expect it to be. No ice cream is truly tragic. That's true. I'm not really ever safe from flirting. Oops. How would they have done that? A strike attack. Like, it would be really cool. I agree, but with how the attacks work in this game, I don't think that would have been super feasible to do. In terms of the moveset. I guess like the two-handed strong attack could have been that. Or the one-handed or the Jesus Christ. The two-handed light attack combo could have started with one. But I feel like only having strike damage for one attack wouldn't go super well with like how they program attacks and stuff. I don't know what my favorite dessert is. I like desserts. I like pastries. So it's probably a pastry, but I don't know which one. I really like Danishes. I don't know. Cheese Danishes. I love rolling that. I love rolling the stagger hitbox there. I think it's funny. You can actually do that with the Hellkite Drake when it first lands in the Undead Berg, but for some reason it's way more precise than with Calamite for... I don't know, it doesn't make any sense that it's completely different, but you can do it. And then if you actually hit the Drake itself, it does damage. But like, who would ever hit the Drake? I don't like creme brulee. Creme brulee is overrated, I think. It's just kind of a boring dessert, in my opinion. Tiramisu is pretty good, though. Oh, milkshakes. A peanut butter milkshake is god tier dessert. I love peanut butter milkshakes. I love peanut butter. Peanut butter is really good. And peanut butter desserts are also really, really good. I I also think of Markiplier when I think of creme brulee. I found a really easy recipe for peanut butter cookies, and it's just like mixing some peanut butter with some powdered sugar. Um, I think there's another ingredient. I don't remember what it was. And then you like use the fork to press them into the shape and bake them, and that's it. Peanut butter milkshake, no ice cream? Where's the milk coming from? You just put milk in there? Do you put milk in milkshakes with ice cream? Actually, I don't know. I've never made a milkshake. You probably do, now that I think about it. Okay. Stagger? After 3, probably? Okay, good. This damage is really good, by the way. I should not have attacked from neutral. That could have ended very poorly. Not the milk again. Not milk. Milkshake. Different things. Whoa! Counter damage. Jesus. Sorry about that, Artorias. God damn. Alright. Milk but vibrating. Also, hitless Artorias. That's pretty good after the rest of the stream happened. More vitality. I wonder if I'll need instability damage to one-shot the bloatheads. Only usually kill a few of them anyway. A couple times I've gone through without killing any of them, but it's way harder like that. No instability damage necessary. That's good. Makes this way easier. Yeah, 5 attempts at Nito to... And then what was it, like three or four deaths to Bed of Chaos to hitless Artorias is really funny. Maybe I can be even funnier and hitless Manus. Wow, that's a lot of instability damage, Jesus. Does that combine with counter damage? I don't know if that animation gives counter damage. Because I know for sure it gives instability damage, because I use it on swords all the time. I think it also does give counter damage. Yeah, I probably will die several times to Menace. Oh my god, when I first started Estrogen, so I worked at a casino, um, and they provided food there because it was like so far away from everything else. So you couldn't just like walk over to, or drive to a restaurant during your lunch break. There was just no time, or like anywhere to get food. Anyway, the point is they provided food there, and they also had like an ice cream machine that you could just get ice cream from whenever you wanted. And I ate so much ice cream right after starting Estrogen. Don't worry, I can make hubris jokes. Oh god. Your hubris. I haven't actually seen that movie. The only Star Wars movies I've seen, I saw episode 4, and I saw like half of episode 7 before passing out in the middle of it. Ow, that hurt really bad. That's unfortunate. Personally, I'm not a huge meat enjoyer. I mean, depending on the context, but generally, meat isn't a thing that I specifically go for. I like ground beef and different things and whatever, but meals that are like just meat, or even not meals, but foods that are just meat, like steaks and whatever, just not my thing. Honestly, I don't even like something. Well, bacon's fine if you don't eat it on its own, but just bacon is so overrated. Huge meat. Yeah, okay. Well, like I like a BLT, Owie. Or like bacon on a burger or something. Like those are nice, but just bacon isn't great. I don't know. Like maple bacon is okay. Not my favorite, but it's okay. Right. Let's see how long Manus takes. For me, whenever I go to Jimmy John's, I get their BLT. That's my favorite thing they have. And when I first started having Jimmy John's, I was like, I had just moved into a new apartment. Um, so eating Jimmy John's kind of reminds me of that apartment. But I've also just kind of ate it pretty consistently since then. So the association isn't really that strong, to be honest. I had leftover curry for lunch. That was really good. Curry and rice. I don't know if curry is usually served with rice, but that's how I had. It was yellow curry with like tofu. How? Come on, seriously. I don't want back shots. Actually, once it jumps down, I can probably just run. I don't even have to worry about killing it. But dang, now I'm thinking about food. I'm not even hungry, but I want to eat something. I don't know why I jumped down there, to be honest. That was very not necessary. Right. Time to die to mana 16 times. Oh, that's a bad omen. What? That hit me? I'm upset that that hit me. Alright, real funny. Real funny. You can stop now. The animation for the combo and like the one-handed slam is very slightly different, and I never know the difference. That's crazy damage though. Wow. Jesus. We love counter damage here. My god. Yeah, the beach club is pretty good. Oh my goodness. That's what my partner gets every time we go to Jimmy John's. And then my roommate gets the Big John. My roommate who is their partner, so. 777, lucky number. Maybe I won't take that many tries. We'll see. Really? Okay. Maybe the lucky number was unlucky after all. Cool, thank you. Fun fact, you can headshot NS with a bow and stagger him instantly. So that's pretty funny. I had time to itch my nose, but it's fine. Okay, that's the one-handed slam that I was talking about. 777 again. Counter damage is weird. No. Okay. I suck at dodging that. Wait, that's a follow-up, I forgot. Everything's fine. What the? I don't recognize that attack. There we go. First try Menace. I didn't hitless it, but I almost did. Right? So, wake Dusk up so she can understand the horrible situation she's been put in. Honestly, leaving her asleep is probably a mercy. Yeah, counter damage is weird. I'm sure it's better in PvP, but in PvE it's very strange. Time for Gwen. I wish I liked Elden Ring more. I've tried to like it so many times, and it just doesn't. Excuse me, it doesn't really work very well. I was scratching my nose, which is why I sounded like that. Have a good night. Thank you for joining while you could. Gonna rest again for the 20 Estus as well. Do I still have the Hornet? I do. Cool. I don't know. I think I was excited to try the Lucerne because I was told the Leo ring was really, really good with it. And like, I don't disagree. This is the most counter damage I've ever done, ever. But I think just the Lucerne on its own with like RTSR would be vastly better. Leo ring doesn't feel like it added that much, all things considered. Two-handed riposte one-shot on the Black Knight, though. That's good. We'll see how that translates to a one-handed riposte on Gwen, but I'm sure it'll be fine damage. the counter attack? Do you mean the shield attack thing where you get your shield hit and then do an attack right after? Because I really hate that mechanic. I hate that mechanic because it's so weirdly useless. It's so like they made it like this big thing in the advertising, and then it's so contextual. There's so few like enemies that you can actually make good use of it on. I don't know. Like obviously it's good for stance damage, but if you're gonna be going for stance damage, then you probably shouldn't be blocking that much anyway. So I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird mechanic, I think. It does have potential. I'm sure, again, it's probably better in PvP. But in PvE, it just feels weird. Oh yeah, that's not bad damage at all. Fake Pigma? No. What a jerk. Parried the fast swing because I'm insane. Racked at Dark Souls. The girl who's played Dark Souls for 1,000 hours is almost good at the video game. Yeah, I guess PvP, you probably get your guard broken pretty often too, huh? Yeah, enemies have way too long attack strings, so it just doesn't work very well. I don't know. Lucerne. Lucerne is fun, has a cool moveset. It's cool that it does pierce damage. Whether or not the Leo ring really added that much to it is debatable. I don't know. I liked it. It was fun. I think if I had done a non-Leo ring based build, I would have liked it more. Yeah. That's the stream, I guess. Thank you all for joining. Hope you enjoyed. Yeah. Something, second channel. I have other videos, obviously. Discord link in the description, whatever. I don't know how to end this.